October country, that country where it is always turning late in the year, that country where the hills are fog and the rivers are mist, where noons go quickly, dusks and twilights linger, and midnights stay. That country composed in the main of cellars, sub-cellars, coal bins, closets, attics and pantries faced away from the sun. That country whose people are autumn people, thinking only autumn thoughts, whose people passing at night on the empty walks sound like rain. The lake. The waves shut me off from the world, from the birds in the sky, the children on the beach, my mother on the shore. There was a moment of green silence. Then the wave gave me back to the sky, the sand, the children yelling. I came out of the lake, and the world was waiting for me, having hardly moved since I went away. I ran up on the beach. Mama swabbed me with a furry towel. "Stand there and dry," she said. I stood there, watching the sun take away the water beads on my arms. I replaced them with goose pimples. "My, there's a wind," said Mama. "Put on your sweater." "Wait till I watch my goosebumps," I said. "Harold," said Mama. I put on the sweater and watched the waves come up and fall down on the beach. But not clumsily, on purpose, with a green sort of elegance. Even a drunken man could not collapse with such elegance as those waves. It was September, in the last days, when things are getting sad for no reason. The beach was so long and lonely, with only about 6 people on it. The kids quit bouncing the ball because somehow the wind had made them sad too, whistling the way it did. And the kids sat down and felt autumn come along the endless shore. All of the hot dog stands were boarded up with strips of golden planking, sealing in all the mustard, onion meat, odors of long, joyful summer. It was like nailing summer into a series of coffins. One by one, the places slammed their covers down, padlocked their doors, and the wind came and touched the sand, blowing away all of the million footprints of July and August. It got so that now in September there was nothing but the mark of my rubber tennis shoes, and Donald and Delias Arnold's feet down by the water curve. Sand blew up in curtains on the sidewalks. The merry-go-round was hidden with canvas. All of the horses frozen in mid-air on their brass poles, showing teeth, galloping on, with only the wind for music slipping through canvas. I stood there. Everyone else was in school. I was not. Tomorrow I would be on my way west across the United States on a train. Mom and I had come to the beach for one last brief moment. There was something about the loneliness that made me want to get away by myself. "Mama, I want to run up the beach a ways," I said. "All right, but hurry back and don't go near the water." I ran. Sand spun under me and wind lifted me. You know how it is, running arms out so you feel veils from your fingers caused by the wind like wings. Mama withdrew into the distance, sitting. Soon she was only a brown speck and I was all alone. Being alone is a newness to a 12-year-old child. He is so used to people about. The only way he can be alone is in his mind. There are so many real people around telling children what and how to do that a boy has to run off down a beach, even if it's only in his head, to get himself in his own world. And now I was really alone. I went down to the water and let it cool up to my stomach. Always before, with the crowd, I hadn't dared to look, to come to this spot and search around in the water and call a certain name. But now, water is like a magician, sawing you in half. It feels as if you were cut in two, part of you, the lower part, sugar, melting, dissolving away, cool water, and once in a while, a very elegantly stumbling wave that fell with a flourish of lace. I called her name. A dozen times I called it. "Tally! Tally! Oh, Tally!" You really expect answers to your calling when you are young. You feel that whatever you may think can be real. And sometimes, maybe that is not wrong. I thought of Tally swimming out in the water last May with her pigtails trailing blonde. She went laughing and the sun was on her small 12-year-old shoulders. I thought of the water settling quiet, of the lifeguard leaping into it, of Tally's mother screaming, and of how Tally never came out. The lifeguard tried to persuade her to come out, but she did not. He came back with only bits of water weeds in his big knuckled fingers, and Tally was gone. She would not sit across from me at school any longer, or chase indoor balls on the brick streets on summer nights. She had gone too far out, and the lake would not let her return. And now, in the lonely autumn, where the sky was huge, and the water was huge, and the beach was so very long, I had come down for the last time, alone. I called her name again and again, Tally, oh Tally. The wind blew so very soft over my ears, the way wind blows over the mouths of seashells, to set them whispering. The water rose, embraced my chest and my knees, up and down one way and another, sucking under my heels. Tally! Come back, Tally! I was only 12, but I knew how much I loved her. It was that love that comes before all significance of body and morals. It was that love that is no more than wind and sea and sand lying side by side forever. It was made of all the warm long days together at the beach and the humming quiet days of droning education at the school, all the long autumn days of the years past when I had carried her books home from school. Tally! I called her name for the last time. I shivered. I felt water on my face and did not know how it got there. The waves had not splashed that high. Turning, I retreated to the sand and stood there for half an hour, hoping for one glimpse, one sign, one little bit of Tally to remember. Then I knelt and built a sandcastle, shaping it fine, building it as Tally and I had often built so many of them. But this time, I only built half of it. Then I got up. Tally, if you hear me, come in and build the rest. I walked off toward that faraway speck that was Mama. The water came in, blended the sand castle circle by circle, mashing it down little by little into the original smoothness. Silently, I walked along the shore. Far away, a merry-go-round jangled faintly, but it was only the wind.